Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, February 6, 2024. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's college basketball, NBA, and NHL. Look ahead to tonight's games in each sport. We have soccer to do. We have the portfolio. We'll recap the Grammys, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with college basketball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today's games. I apologize in advance. I did not do totals. Virginia over Miami, 60-38. Southeast Louisiana over Incarnate Word, 76-34. Or 64. Nichols over Northwestern State, 73-66. New Orleans over Houston Christian, 84-58. Howard over Delaware State, 75-71. SC State over Coppin State, 77-65. Morgan State over NC Central, 79-72 in OT. Maryland Eastern over Norfolk State, 69-60. McNeese over A&M Commerce, 77-51. Grambling over Alcorn State, 78-67. Bama State over Florida A&M, 62-53. Bama A&M over Bethune, 72-68. Kansas State upsets number 4 Kansas, 75-70 in OT. Idaho over Sacramento State, 61-45. Prairie View over Pine Bluff, 75-74. Southern over Jackson State, 72-63. And Eastern Washington over Portland State, 90-77, so best bet loses. All right, tonight, 6:30, SEC Network, Ole Miss, number 15, South Carolina. So South Carolina moves way up in the AP poll because of some of its big-time results of late. I have South Carolina 4.2, and it is 3.5, 137.5. I like the over. Big Ten Network, Rutgers, Maryland. I have Maryland 6.4, and Maryland is 7.5. Totals 127.5. I like the over. Next is Fox Sports 1 DePaul St. John's from UBS Arena. My line is St. John's 13.3. And it's 21.5, 147.5. I'll take DePaul getting the points. I don't like how St. John's has looked lately, but they do need the game. It's just a lot of points. 7 o'clock, ESPN Clemson at number 3, North Carolina. North Carolina 9.1. And it's 7.5 and 154.5. I like the over. Oklahoma State, number 5, Houston, ESPN 2. My line's Houston 12.5, and it's 20.5, 128.5. I'll take Oklahoma State in the points. Wake, Georgia Tech, ESPNU. My line is Wake 2.9, and it is 4.5 and 150.5. I think over. Florida State, BC, ACC Network. My line is BC 2.8, and it's 3.5, 151.5. I like the over. Peacock, Indiana, Ohio State. My line's Ohio State 0.7, and it's 5.5, 141.5. That's a lot of points. Give me Indiana to cover. Rhode Island, George Washington. My line's George Washington 7.6, and it is 6.5 and 156.5. I like the under. VCU Fordham. My line is VCU by 1. And it's 4.5 and 139.5. I like Fordham to cover. Canisius Niagara. My line's Niagara 5.2. And it's 4.5, 148.5. I like the over. Northern Illinois, Miami of Ohio. My line's Miami of Ohio 6.7. And it's 5.5, 148.5. I like the over here, too. Ohio, Ball State. My line's Ohio 0.4. And it's 1.5, 149.5. I like the over here as well. Central Michigan, Akron. My line's Akron 9.8. And it's 14.5, 131.5. I'll take Central to cover. Western Michigan, Kent State. My line is Kent by 8. And it is 10.5, 146.5. I'll take Western in the points. Buffalo, Bowling Green. My line's Bowling Green 13.1. And it's 12.5, 150.5. I Don't feel strong about it, but I like the under. Toledo, Eastern Michigan. My line's Toledo 5.2. And it's 11.5, 150.5. I'll take Eastern in the points. 8 o'clock, Longhorn Network. Number 14, Iowa State and Texas. My line's Texas 3.25. And we have here 1.5, 137 over. Number 18, Dayton and St. Joe's. CBS Sports Network. My line's Dayton 2.1. And it's 1.5, 141. I like the over in this one as well. Number 21, BYU against Oklahoma. Mine's Oklahoma by 2.75. And it's 1.5 and 150.5. I like the over. UT Martin in Little Rock. My line's Little Rock 0.3. And it's 2.5 and 162.5. I'm going to take Tennessee Martin to cover. Fox Sports 1-830. Butler number 1 UConn. My line's UConn 10.5. And it's 14.5 and 146.5. I'll take Butler to cover. SEC Network number 17, Kentucky Vandy. My line's Kentucky 6.8, and it's 9.5, 151.5. I'll take Vandy to cover. That's high. Number 25, New Mexico, Wyoming. My line's New Mexico by 4, and it's 10.5, 155.5. I'll take Wyoming to cover. 9 o'clock on ESPN, number 23, Texas Tech. Number 13, Baylor. Good game. My line's Baylor 4.7. And we have 5.5 and 144.5. I like the over. Nevada, number 22, Utah State. My line's Utah State by 4. And it's 5.5, 147.5. I like the over. Boise, Colorado State. My line's Colorado State 2.6. And it's 5.5, 140.5. I'll take Boise to cover. ESPN 2, Charlotte, South Florida. Really sneaky good game in the American. My line's South Florida 4.75. And it's 1.5, 134.5. I'll lay the points with South Florida. On Peacock, Michigan State, Minnesota. My line's Michigan State 1.4. And it's 3.5, 138.5. I'm going to take Minnesota to cover. 10 o'clock, Fresno State, San Jose State. My line's San Jose State 2.25. And it's 2.5, 139.5. I like the over. Number 24, San Diego State, Air Force on Fox Sports 1 at 10:40. Mine San Diego State 8.75. And it's 9.5 and 132.5. I like the over. And last but not least, St. Mary's Pacific. 11 o'clock, ESPN 2. My line's St. Mary's by 12. And it's 21.5, 129.5. I'll take Pacific to cover. Okay, now move on to the NBA. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's games. And again, I did not do totals, so I apologize about that. So, Lakers over the Hornets, 124-118. Cavs over the Kings, 136-110. Mavs over the Sixers, 118-102. Clippers over the Hawks, 149-144. Warriors over the Nets, 109-98. Pelicans over the Raptors, 138-100. All right, tonight's game, 7 o'clock, you have the Rockets and the Pacers. Indiana 12. No Van Vliet, no Easton. And it's 7.5, 242.5. I absolutely love Indy minus the points. 7:30 TNT. Mavs Nets. So Kyrie Irving back in Brooklyn. My line's Mavs by 1. And it's 2.5, 236.5. I am going to go. I don't feel good about it, but I like the over. Magic Heat. My line's the Heat by 4.25. And it's 3 and 212 over. That's way too low. Grizzlies Knicks. No Randall, no OG Anunoby. My line's Knicks by 5, and it's 14.5. Oh my God. I'm taking the Grizzlies getting the points. That's way too many points. Like, that's crazy. Way too many points. I mean, I know everybody loves the Knicks, but the Knicks don't have Randall and OG Anunoby. Why are they favored by 14.5? That's way too high. Knicks will win, but they're not covering 14.5. No way. I hope I'm wrong about that, though. 8 o'clock, T-Wolves, Bulls. My line's T-Wolves 7.5. And it's 5.5, 217. I'm going to lay the points. 9 o'clock, Thunder, Jazz. My line is the Thunder by 6, and it's 3 and 249. I'm going to lay the 3 with OKC. And at 10 o'clock on TNT, Bucks, Suns. I have Pick'em. And it's Suns by 4, total 244. I'm going to take the Bucks getting 4 points on the road. Right now, move on to the NHL. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to, I think, is a larger slate tonight. Yes, it is. Rangers over to Avs 2-1 in OT on a game winner by Alexei Lafreniere. A huge win for the Rangers. Isles over to Leafs 3-2. They complete the season sweep of the Leafs for the first time in a long time, like 30 years. So impressive win for the Islanders after John Tavares ties it late in the third. All right, so 8 games tonight. 7 o'clock, you have the Flames against the Bruins from TD Garden. Bruins minus 194, Flames plus 160, over under 5.5, overs minus 140, unders plus 112. Flames plus 1.5 is minus 154, Bruins minus 1.5 is plus 28. Bruins puck line. Stars, Sabres. Stars minus 162, Sabres plus 134, over under 6.5, minus 110 each way. Stars minus 1.5 is plus 142, Sabres plus 1.5 is minus 172. I like the over. Flyers, Panthers. Panthers minus 196, Flyers plus 162, over under 5.5, overs minus 140, unders plus 114. Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 152, Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 136. Florida's playing great right now. I'm laying the puck line. Jets, Penguins. Why is Pittsburgh favored? Are you kidding me? That's disrespectful of Winnipeg. Pens are minus 114, Winnipeg minus 105, over under 5.5. Overs minus 122, and there's even money. Jets plus 1.5 is minus 260. Pens minus 1.5 is plus 210. I'm going Winnipeg on the road. That's ridiculous. Like, come on. Habs, Caps. Caps minus 160. Habs plus 132. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Habs plus 1.5 is minus 192. Caps minus 1.5 is plus 158. I think this game goes to overtime. So, overtime, yes, plus 340. Canucks, Hurricanes, a really good game. Canes minus 50, Canucks plus 125, over under 6.5. Overs minus 102, and there's minus 120. Canucks plus 1.5 is minus 196. Canes minus 1.5 is plus 162. Big spot for Carolina against a good team. I'm just going to go with the over. I want to take Vancouver, but over's easier. 7:30 on ESPN Plus and Hulu. Avalanche, Devils. Avs minus 120, Devils even money, over under 6.5. Overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 195. Devils plus 1.5 is minus 240. I like the Devils at even money. And at 10 o'clock, ESPN Plus and Hulu, Oilers, Golden Knights. Great game. Oilers minus 152, Vegas plus 126, over under 6.5. Overs plus 106, unders minus 130. Oilers minus 1.5 is plus 158. Vegas plus 1.5 is minus 92. I like the over on this one too. So there you have it for hockey. Now move on to soccer. We'll go over the results of note from yesterday and then look ahead to today. All right, so Asian Cup semifinals were today. Jordan beats South Korea 2-0. And then we'll do tomorrow's show. La Liga from yesterday, Sevilla over Rayo 2-1. Serie A from yesterday, AS Roma over Cagliari 4-0. I believe there was ELC yesterday. No, there wasn't. Premier League yesterday. Man City over Brentford 3-1. DFB Pokal today 2:45. Leverkusen and Stuttgart. So I'm just gonna pull that up real quick. Leverkusen minus 175, Stuttgart plus 450. The draw is 3-1. I'm gonna go under 2.5 goals at plus 132. Copa del Rey today at 3 o'clock. We have Mallorca and Real Sociedad first leg. Real Sociedad plus 120, Mallorca plus 280, draw plus 175. I'm going with Real Sociedad at plus 120. English FA Cup third round today. 2:45. You have Coventry and Sheffield Wednesday. Coventry minus 210, Sheffield plus 550, the draws plus 320. I'm going under 2.5 goals minus 108. Plymouth Leeds. Leeds minus 195, Plymouth plus 450, draw plus 340. Over 3.5 goals plus 120. And Southampton Watford. Southampton minus 200, Watford 5-1, the draws plus 330. I'm going over 3.5 goals at plus 126. CONCACAF Champions League, round 1 today. Or tonight, I should say. So at 8 o'clock tonight, you have Comunicaciones and Monterrey. Monterrey's minus 150. Comunicaciones is plus 370, draw plus 270. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals, minus 118. And at 10 o'clock tonight is Real Esteli and America. America minus 280. Esteli 6-1, the draws plus 370. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals at plus 104. So that's really it for the soccer portfolio. This is going to be interesting. We have a bunch of places where we can go. I really don't want to start doing Major League Baseball until we know where some other guys are signing, like Blake Snell's still on the board and such. So, I don't want to take any chances there. So the hotspots are the NBA and college basketball. I've been monitoring player awards. And there's an NBA coach that's done an outstanding job this year. And he's 26-1. I mean, I could have got him at a better number last week. He was 95-1. That's New York Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau. It's down to 26-1. And if they get the 2 seed, how does he not win it? I mean, I know Mark Dagnall and the job he's done with OKC. so they probably would give it to him. So that's why it's really worth picking Thibodeau. The Sixers to win the East is 20-1. You're just betting on Embiid to come back at that point. And Miami to win the East is 19-1. That's really good. The most improved player. Tyrese Maxey's just a monster favorite for that now. But there's one that jumps out to me for most improved player. He's 110-1. That is Oklahoma City Thunder forward Jalen Williams. Like, that's crazy. Absolutely insane odds for him. But yeah, there's a couple of awards that stand out in the NBA. But I always like to look at men's basketball odds too. I just like to look at the board. The number 15 team in the country is 90-1 to win the title, and that's the South Carolina Gamecocks. So that's interesting. San Diego State's 90. But there's so many good ones on the board for college basketball. Illinois is 35-1. That's good. Duke at 30 has some value. Kansas is 20-1. But I'm going to do a tenth of a unit on one of these long shots in college basketball. And then you could just hedge it in the tournament if you have to. So I'm going to take the 90-1 with the Gamecocks of South Carolina. They're 15th in the country right now, and they're 90-1. So I'm going to lay a tenth of a unit. South Carolina 90-1 to win the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Why not? All right, now we're going to talk about the Grammys really quickly. It was a fun awards show. Several good performances like they're usually. Dua Lipa performed Training Season in Houdini. And then it was Tracy Chapman and Luke Combs performing Fast Car. That was awesome. SZA performed Snooze and Kill Bill. Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell, What Was I Made For? Miley performed Flowers. That was awesome. Olivia Rodrigo performed Vampire. U2 performed Atomic City. And then we had the in memory performance, Stevie Wonder, Annie Lennox, Wendy and Lisa, John Batiste, Ann Nesby, Corey Henry, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Fantasia, and Adam Blackstone. For Once in My Life was a tribute to Tony Bennett. The Best Is Yet to Come. And Nothing Compares to You is Sinead O'Connor. Ain't No Sunshine, Lean on Me, Optimistic, tribute to Clarence Avant. And then Proud Mary was a tribute to the great Tina Turner. And then Joni Mitchell, Brandi Carlile, Sister Strings, Blake Mills, Lucius, Allison Russell, and Jacob Collier performed both sides now. Then Travis Scott and Playboy Cardi, My Eyes, I Know, and Feelin'. And then Burna Boy, 21 Savage, Brandy, On Form, City Boys, and Sitting on Top of the World. And then Billy Joel and Laufey performed Billy Joel's new hit, Turn the Lights Back On, which was awesome. Kind of had the Piano Man vibe to it. And then Billy closed the show by performing You May Be Right, which was awesome. And then the winners. So Record of the Year went to Flowers. I'm happy for Miley Cyrus. I personally believe that Flowers was the best song, personally, and I'm glad she won it. But I thought Taylor was going to win it. Because I guess they realized, we've been doing the Taylor Swift Invitational. Let's give other people a chance. So good for Miley. I honestly thought Flowers was the best song. But I thought they were going to rig it and give it to Taylor Swift, which they didn't. And Taylor Swift was happy for Miley. Of course she was. I mean, everybody was. And this was a loaded crop for Record of the Year. And I'm glad that the best song actually won. And that was Flowers by Miley Cyrus. But Taylor did win Album of the Year for Midnights, which she probably should have won. Song of the Year, What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. Good for her. I thought Flowers should have won this as well. But I thought it was going to be Anti-Hero that was going to win. Best New Artist went to Victoria Monet. That was a surprise that she won it over Jelly Roll. So those were the big ones, obviously. So it was a good Grammy. News and notes. We're going to try to be really quick here. So the Dodgers are likely re-signing Clayton Kershaw. That was inevitable. 3 teams eyeing Giovanni Urshela: Yankees, Mets, and Marlins. I'm not a big Gio Urshela fan. I just think that he was good on the Yankees that 1 year, and then he was just got too home run happy with the Yankees, I thought. And then he was back to the flashes he showed on the other teams after he left the Yanks. All right, Brewers are to sign Jacob Junis. Bobby Witt got a big contract, 11 years, $288.7 million. You know all these teams are going to do that to their young players now. So good on the Royals for getting that done. And then the Giants are talking to Jorge Soler. That's interesting. Dodgers signed Ryan Brazier, 2 years, $9 million, and that is after they traded away Caleb Ferguson to the Yankees for Matt Gage and Christian Zizetta. So that's a good pickup by the Yanks. And then Brazier's not a bad replacement for the Dodgers. Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman says that the Athletics should stay in Oakland. That's interesting. And then there was a lawsuit filed over to Ace Stadium as Nevada Teachers Union sues state governor challenging legislation that paved way for venues funding. The Eagles are to host a game in Brazil. It's the first ever NFL game in Sao Paulo will be the Friday night of 2024 opening weekend. Wow, so that's really interesting. Now we need to know who their opponent's going to be. So, the first Friday night of the season. So that's very interesting. So you have the opening game, which either the Niners or the Chiefs are going to be hosting. And then you have the Eagles playing in Brazil. So that's interesting. So Jay Harbaugh, who's the son of Jim Harbaugh, got hired by the Seahawks to be their special teams coordinator. So that's interesting. Cowboys interviewed Ron Rivera to replace Dan Quinn as defensive coordinator. So that's interesting. Mike Vrabel intimidated general managers as his physical presence was a factor in not getting a job. The Giants are hiring Tim Kelly to be their tight ends coach. That's the former Titans offensive coordinator. And then Shane Bowen hired to be their defensive coordinator, who was the Titans defensive coordinator. So the Giants getting some people in. Travis Kelce shuts down viral article calling taper fade haircut the Travis Kelce. So Lincoln Riley has a Caleb Williams story as he talks about how Caleb was willing to walk on at Oklahoma. That was on the McAfee show. So the potential Joel Embiid timeline is 1 to 2 months after the knee procedure. And then his meniscus will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. There's some people that think he's going to be done for the season, and others think he'll be back in a month, which is crazy. Jared Vanderbilt out 3 to 4 weeks with a midfoot sprain. Among New York Knicks trade targets, Bruce Brown and P.J. Washington. I personally would like to see them trade for Malcolm Brogdon. That'd be a really good pickup for them. I'm going to do a trade deadline show. If the trade deadline's at 4, I might do another live show. But if not, then I might do a preview show tonight or something, and then I do a recap show on Thursday or something. Some big WNBA news. The Seattle Storm will be signing Nneka Ogwumike as she'll be leaving the Sparks for Seattle. Seattle's trying to reload after losing Stewie last year. Nicolea Cooper got traded to the Mercury from the Sky for players and draft compensation. So, there you have that. So that's the notes. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There's a couple that jumped out to me, and one jumped out in college basketball. I'm going to take Indiana getting the points against Ohio State. I took Indiana a couple times for best bet this college season. I know I took them against Michigan. That worked out. And now they're getting points against another rival on the road in Ohio State. So I'm going to take Indiana. I'm going to lay a 1/10 of a unit on it. So Indiana plus 5.5 against Ohio State. Best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show. And by the way, Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw are in an agreement. So that's good news for the Dodgers. So we'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. We'll get back to everything tomorrow as well. Have a great day, everybody.